Picture this, a continent erased. For centuries, textbooks claimed Africa had no history before colonialism. But what if everything you were taught was wrong? The truth is explosive. While Europe languished in the Dark Ages, African civilizations built skyscrapers of stone, pioneered mathematics, and amassed libraries dwarfing anything in Paris or London. Let's begin with the most audacious lie of all, that Africa had no civilizations. Enter Great Zimbabwe. Rising from the savannah in 1100 AD, this metropolis of 18,000 people constructed towering stone walls without mortar engineering so precise they still stand after 800 years. Colonial explorers refused to believe Africans built it, claiming it must be King Solomon's mines or Phoenician traders. But archaeology doesn't lie. The Shona people's capital boasted goldsmiths, astronomers, and trade routes stretching to China. Next, the Sahara's greatest secret, Timbuktu. Far from a desert backwater, this Malian city hosted 25,000 students at its peak. Its libraries held 700,000 manuscripts, more than all of Europe's universities combined during the Renaissance. Scholars debated medicine, astronomy, and law in courtyards lined with gold. When Portuguese explorers reached Benin City in 1485, they gaped at streets wider than Lisbon's, lit by oil lamps, with a palace complex larger than Buckingham Palace. The obuscode displayed bronze sculptures so lifelike Europeans assumed they must be Greek imports until metallurgy proved they were cast using African techniques centuries before the Renaissance. But the most mind-blowing artifact isn't a city, it's a bone. Found in Congo, the Ishango bone dates back 20,000 years. Its carved notches prove African mathematicians were calculating prime numbers and lunar cycles millennia before Pythagoras. Meanwhile in Ethiopia, Aksumite engineers erected obelisks taller than the Statue of Liberty and minted coins when Britain was still using barter. Here's what school never taught: Africans reached the Americas before the Mayflower. Columbus's logs mention free black sailors on his 1492 voyage. By 1730, a quarter of Carolina's slaves were Cherokee and Creek, a fact erased from most textbooks. Even the Emancipation Proclamation hid grim truths: it freed 0 slaves in Union-held territories, leaving 800,000 in bondage. The finale. Africa's name itself is a colonial fabrication. Romans coined it in 146 BC after conquering Carthage. The continent's indigenous peoples never called themselves Africans. From the kola nut in your soda to the banjo's African roots, this stolen legacy is everywhere except our history books.